Alrighty, Helldivers, we have some unexpected news. The Galactic War has been officially paused for a good reason. There's some sort of error going on right now, and I'm sure they'll fix that bug very soon. So what we have here is a post from the one and only Baskinator. The community manager wrote this on the Discord, and she had this to say. Today we updated our backend, and we have encountered an error that is affecting planet liberation rates, causing them to skyrocket. While we know this is fun, we also know that it is breaking the Galactic War mechanic itself. In short, this is harming the game experience and will have detrimental effects on the war mechanic in the future. We have made the decision to pause the Galactic War temporarily until this is fixed. We're already starting the process, but we do not yet have an ETA for this fix. You will still be able to play Helldivers 2, but you cannot make any contributions to liberating planets or advance in the war. This is our mistake, and we own it. We are not going to revert any of the damage done by this error. However, So Your Major Victory is still secure. We will keep you updated as soon as we have more information. As always, thank you for being patient and understanding, Helldivers. Now, thankfully, it's nothing bad, right? It's not like they got hacked. It's not like they made a huge mistake or anything detrimental like that. What happened is just a simple error, a simple bug that can happen when you're adjusting the Galactic War map and whatnot, which I'm sure that's what they were doing, by updating the backend. However, that caused some issues, and now they're experiencing some trouble. I'm sure we'll see that fix eventually. There's no ETA on it, as you can tell from that response. So at this point, we're kind of in the dark, but thankfully they owned up to the mistake. Always have great communication. So we'll see where this goes from here. Overall, is it good or bad? Well, that depends on your opinion. My opinion, I think it's good that this happened because we get the mines, and the developers were upfront about the whole entire situation. So yes, we have won the mines, and we have also secured those children there that are now safe. They're good to go. They're not going to get slaughtered by the automaton menace or anything bad like that, and that's great. But the problem is, they experienced a bug. I think it's completely normal, and I'm just excited and happy that we're getting the mines, and I'm happy that they were upfront about it and have great communication, which is something Arrowhead is just famous for, having great communication. Now, the community manager, Baskinator, continued on to talk about it in the Helldivers 2 Discord after this player said, has anyone checked on Joel? Is he absolutely okay? And in response, Baskinator wrote, yeah, he's one of the Swedish nerds puzzling over this. What happened is that our backend was updated, normal routine, and had an unexpected effect on one of the tools that affects liberation rates. We're looking into the why and how. Yeah, so you could tell that they tried to do their normal routine, and out of nowhere, something just happened with those liberation rates. Possibly a mistake in the code, or something happened when they try to update. Now, to be completely fair, this could happen to just about any developer, any gaming studio out there that's trying to update their servers. I don't think this is anything bad or that they did this intentionally. Obviously, they didn't, so that's why they're owning up to everything and telling you guys what's going on here. So, like I've said, I have a good feeling they'll have this resolved soon, maybe in the next 2 days, maybe next week, sometime soon. And when it comes down to downloading a patch or a hotfix, it's not going to be that type of hotfix. What will happen most likely is they'll update it on their end, on the server end, and you won't have to download anything. I'm almost certain that will happen because just recently they updated the Galactic War map so that you do not have to download an actual patch. It was just already updated. You guys recall that, right? In the dispatch, it said something about, hey, we updated the Galactic War stuff on our end and whatnot. I'll throw in a screenshot right here if you do not recall. Continuing on, we do have a question from a fellow Helldiver. This Helldiver said, Arrowhead is freaking out right now. And in response, Baskinator said, nah, we're monitoring an investigation, some things at present, but no freakouts. It's just a bunch of Swedish nerds and one American lady looking at a bunch of graphs and dashboards. Another day in live service. Yep, so right now they're not freaking out. It's nothing like, the situation where the guy brings in the pizza box and, there's a bunch of fire everywhere. You guys know the meme. It's not like that. It's just, hey, we made a mistake. We're looking at everything. We're going to solve it. It's just going to take some time, guys. And that's really all they're saying. Moving along, we do have a response from earlier where she actually talked a little bit about the situation, saying, just FYI, fixes have been applied, but we are continuing to monitor the backend tool affected to see how it rebalances itself after the spike. not much of what we do is as simple as on and off switch. We can tell right there they try to resolve it as soon as possible by adjusting the server stuff, and then, you know, they're like, well, this isn't resolving itself. We're gonna have to shut down the liberation rates for right now, or at least pause the Galactic War to see what's going on here. And that's what they're doing right now. They're looking at all the graphs because of this one simple mistake that just happened out of nowhere. And again, this could happen to just about anybody. This stuff is just really what goes on when you're messing with your live servers, right? You're trying to adjust certain things, and certain things just don't, I don't know, queue up properly. You guys get what I'm saying. Anyways, continuing on, we do have a strategic update. This might have been due to the server problems, but what we have here is another message from Baskinator, and she said, strategic update. A sudden and unexpected collapse in automaton resistance gave Seif and Helldiver forces the opportunity to liberate huge swathes of territory from the enemy socialist group. The latest intel indicates this lapse was caused by a routine update to the automaton's operating system. The enemy has since regained full fighting capacity. This right here explains why we were able to liberate Beckham so quickly and stop a defense on Charvel. It was honestly quite insane. I wasn't expecting us to defend a planet that quickly and also stop, you know, Charvel and all that. So crazy stuff, guys. But that's what's going on as of late with the automatons and the server issues. Okay, on a similar note, the CEO responded to a player after this player said, hey, I hope the poor intern staff isn't in trouble. In response, Sham said, no, of course not. Stuff happens. It's fine. We'll fix. That right there is a great attitude to have. Even if it was someone's, you know, mess up, it's really not a big deal. Things happen, you know, just like he said, except his word is different from what I'm saying. Obviously, he used the S word that I can't use on YouTube because you guys know how it is. Unfortunately, it is what it is, and they'll figure it out soon. He was also able to answer a question about Warbonds. There's a Helldiver that wanted to know if there's some sort of future creep, and if there's going to be just too many Warbonds. This Helldiver also wanted to know if there's going to be some more stratagems that are not related to Warbonds. And yeah, there's going to be a chance of that. Shams, the CEO, said no and yes. I mean, we need to plan things out. We can't just have 23,020 Warbonds and no plan. Obviously, they're going to have something figured out where they release stratagems that are not within Warbonds, which I think is absolutely great. And they definitely will have a plan, I'm sure, once they get to that point. With that said, we do have one more response here. We have another question about multi-factions. This Helldiver wants to know, can the engine studio work on support for dual factions? In response, Sham said yes, but there are limitations in how many different models we can have at the same time. So far, the answers have been pretty much the same. They have to figure out how to resolve the issue with the engine so that they can have two different factions at the same time. This is just more of them doubling down on the situation because I know a lot of Helldivers want it. On a different note, we do have a situation here with the double DSS bug. This Helldiver reports that there's some sort of DSS bug where if you travel to where the DSS originally was, it will pop up in two different locations basically. So I guess it stays in one point and then warps to the next and they're both there simultaneously or something like that, if that makes sense. Anyways, in response, the QA lead said, I'm not sure we actually have that on record. I'll take a look when I get the chance, and if not, add it. Sure, that's not a game-breaking bug or some sort of huge problem, right? I certainly don't think it's a big deal. Maybe for some of you it might be annoying or whatever the case may be. Nevertheless, they're going to look at it, and if there's any sort of issues, he'll add it to the list, and eventually that will be resolved. I expect that to be included into a much larger patch. Nothing that's going to be a hotfix because, to be fair, it's not a big deal. The next question is from the QA lead. He asked a fellow Helldiver, are you having full crashes out of the game or disconnects? Then a fellow Helldiver chimed in and said it's definitely full on, the game completely crashes, and then he has to boot it up again. But he's never experienced this situation on PC, and he assumes it's some sort of console thing. Then the QA chimed in, responded back saying, you know, hey, thank you for the detail, and that he's written a note about it. My question for you guys, have you experienced some sort of bug as of late? Did you experience any sort of situation where the game decided to crash randomly on you? Is it on PC only, or is it on console? I've been playing on PC as of late, and I haven't noticed any issues there, so I hardly play on my PlayStation account. But I'd love to know what you think here. Well, that's pretty much it with the responses. Usually I go over the top 3 comments, but I'm going to do that in a different video because I'm going to check out the comments from this video and the last one and include a bunch. So make sure you comment down below. Tell me what you think about the whole situation with the servers, the situation with the multi-factions, and just everything, guys. Thank you for watching. If you haven't done so, join my Discord down below. We'll talk it out. We'll hang out. We'll play a few games. Also, thank you to everyone that is subscribed. Even if you're not subscribed, I appreciate all the support. Whether you comment or don't comment, I just appreciate you stopping by. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.